It's a great pleasure for me to welcome you all, whether you're joining virtually or you're joining us on our home at the Manhattanville campus of Columbia University.
I think being part of the Columbia Women's Leadership Network in Rio gave me this shift in perspective of what is possible.
This is the part of the climate discussion, especially for the Obama Foundation and our Obama scholars, as part of this network of people, that we want to be the last mile. We want to be the people on the south side of Chicago and in the northeast of Brazil who can leverage the leaders that are already there and then connect them with resources all over the planet in a way that hasn't been done before.
That's part of the founding ethos of the climate school, that climate can't be a discussion among rich countries only. The Global South has also got to be involved in that discussion. We're there because we want to learn from the very dynamic community of scholars, of teachers, of researchers, of community organizers, and bring those lessons back to Columbia University. So that's our noble mission of our Global Center.
So we understand that data and technology can both empower and marginalize. Today, we want to bring these tensions to light and reflect on their role on climate action and justice.
To solve the climate crisis, we can't afford one more new oil and gas project. And so for the last 6 months, I've been focusing on campaigning against this, what we call climate bombs. If those carbon bombs happen, we're at 3.5 degree, not 1.5. We spent 100,000 for campaigning and the pipeline cost 1.5 billion. So more because of that. And so it just take a few people, a little bit of money, and then we can stop these carbon bombs with the right data.
In the wake of George Floyd, as we have kind of this shift in thinking around racial equity, right? This awakening around racism is really environmental justice tourism, right? It's climate justice tourism. And so with my colleagues, what I'm working to do is have authenticity as we engage with communities, not study communities, not treat communities like lab rats, but engage communities at the ideation phase as we think about research projects.
There are increasingly incentives for scientists to engage in the humanitarian sector, but there's risks with that. Scientists don't have the training to understand what those incentives, what the tensions that are inherent within that new incentive to influence the way people live.
Where is the justice whenever we talk about climate finance or climate change? Where is civic action? Because let's remember, this panel is also related to how this climate finance can push civic engagement and civic action.
Where we're at is that current processes are not just. The financing flows might be there, but the process of how criteria is determined, how we decide whether to invest on mitigation, as most of the money is being spent on, and not an adaptation.
From the very first days of the full-scale invasion of my home country, I have been helping mobilize the Fridays for Future youth climate movement to call for the toughest sanctions, the full embargo on Russian oil and gas.
We should all stand up and support this campaign to stop the East African crude oil pipeline, because it's already destroying our lives. It has destroyed our property, it has destroyed our plantations, and we cannot go on living like this.
The bombs that are falling on Ukraine and the carbon bombs that are disrupting the lives of people in East Africa have the same root. The fossil fuel industry and toxic politicians who are complicit to that industry and who put profit over people. Don't look at us, just join us.